Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. After introducing aerosol in first part, let us start discussing about the properties of aerosols. As earlier told, the aerosols are suspended particles in gases, and aerosol science defined as the science of particles or in atmospheric physics and chemistry. The properties of aerosols basically defined because of its smaller size fraction, which comprises from few nanometer, from generally considered as a 10 nanometer and up to several hundred micrometers. So being a very small particles, these particles also interact with sunlight or radiation and so some different radiative properties, and being having particles of different chemical composition, they also have some absorption and reflective capacity by virtue of different chemical composition. Learning objectives are morphological properties, condensation of aerosol particles molality, coagulation of aerosol particles, chemical speciation of atmospheric particulate matter, size differentiated particulate matter, and aerosol optical depth, along with discussion on the black carbon and its radiative forcing. The environmental impacts of atmospheric particles depend on their physical chemical properties, lifetimes and abundance. The concentration, size distribution and composition of atmospheric aerosol particles are highly variable in both time and space. Airborne behavior such as settling velocity is a function of size, specific gravity, shape, surface properties. The aerodynamic equivalent diameter, which is called as AED of a particles, is the diameter of a unit density sphere that would have the identical settling velocity as the particles. The measurement of aerosols is required to measure in terms of the concentration in terms of the number concentration, area concentration, volume concentration and mass concentration, and unit can be centimeter cubic and micrometer square centimeter cubic and micrometer cubic micrometer and microgram per meter cube for number concentration, area concentration, volume concentration and mass concentration respectively. In the lower troposphere, the total particle number concentration typically varies in the range of about 10 to the power 2 to 10 to power 5 centimeter per centimeter cube, and typical mass concentration varies between 1 to 100 microgram per meter cube. Aerosol concentration in the free troposphere are typically 1 to 2 orders of magnitude lower than in the atmospheric boundary layer. Morphological properties can be shape or size and also size distribution pattern. Shape of aerosols may have range of depending on its formation and chemical composition. These shapes can be divided into three classes. Isomeric particles are those for which all three dimensions are roughly the same. Spherical, regular polyhedral or particles approximating these shapes belong in this class. Second category is platelets are particles that have two long dimensions and a small third dimension, such as leaf fragments, scales, disc, etc. Third category is fibers are particles with high length in one dimension compared to much smaller length in other two dimensions. Size, all particles having similar settling velocities are considered to be of the same size regardless of their actual size, composition or shape. Aerosols are monodisperse if all particles are of only a single size. Polydisperse contains particles of more than one size. Similarly, homogeneous aerosols are the particles having one chemical composition, while heterogeneous aerosols constitute a combination of chemical composition. To study the polydispersed aerosols, measurement of the diameter of a single particle is not sufficient to describe all particles and need to make certain assumptions in place of measuring particle diameter on the basis of Farad diameter or Martin diameter. Hence, for simplification of measurement problem, projected area diameter has been widely used. PMX, particulate matter with diameter smaller than x micrometer, is another often used measure to describe the aerosol mass concentration, such as PM2.5, PM10 are routinely monitored values. Third, properties can be described based on size distribution of large frequency particles in atmosphere. Aerosol particles in the atmosphere have extensively variable shape. Their dimensions are usually characterized by the particle diameter, which span over 4 orders of magnitude from a few nanometer to around 100 micrometer. Particle size is one of the most important parameters to describe the behavior of aerosols, affecting both their lifetime physical and chemical properties. Distribution of aerosol particles is generally defined by their number, surface or volume. The smallest range of these particles with particle diameter is lower than 0.01 micrometer are produced by homogeneous and heterogeneous nucleation process. They can form during natural gas to particle condensation or during condensation of hot vapor in combustion process. Due to their rapid coagulation or random impaction onto surface, the lifetime of these small particles is very short, in order to like minutes to few hours. Larger aerosols particles in the size range 0.1 to 1 micrometer in diameter can accumulate in the atmosphere because their removal mechanisms are least efficient. Because of their low size, they remain suspended for longer duration in atmosphere. Their lifetime in the atmosphere is 7 to 10 days, and during this period they can transport it to a long distance from their sources. Particles belonging to this range, which is under the accumulation mode, are formed mainly by coagulation of smaller particles or condensation of vapors onto existing particles, and during the process they grow into this size range. At the same time, these are also being emitted to the atmosphere from different sources, mainly from incomplete combustion. Accumulated particles get removed from the atmosphere mainly by bed deposition. The coarse mode contains particles with diameter larger than 2.5 micrometer. These particles mostly get emitted into the atmosphere during mechanical process from both natural and anthropogenic activities. Due to their relatively large mass, they have short atmospheric lifetime because of their rapid sedimentation. Gravitational sedimentation is a state when a particle is released in air. The particles undergoing gravitational settling and it quickly reaches its terminal settling velocity, a condition of constant velocity wherein the drag force of the air on the particles is exactly equal and opposite to the force of gravity. The distribution of atmospheric aerosol particles can be seen in figure. Small particles in nucleation mode constitute the majority of the atmospheric particles by number. However, due to their small size, their concentration to the total mass of aerosol are very small, around a few percent. The accumulation mode particles have the greatest surface area. The mass or volume concentration is dominated by the aerosols in coarse and accumulation modes. Size, area, and volume distribution of the aerosol particles show characteristics pattern at different locations. On the basis of the frequency distribution of mass or volume, the distribution may be characterized as 2 or 3 modal distribution. A study has been conducted to investigate the role of aerosol sedimentation, such as the downward motion and settling on the earth's surface of aerosol particles due to gravity. The impact of aerosol sedimentation of its numerical implementation has been analyzed and incorporated in the global climate model. Because of its large number of particles and making provision of surface for condensation, these aerosol particles also show the condensation properties. Gas to particle conversion may result from homogeneous gas phase processes, or it may be controlled by processes in the particulate phase. Gas phase processes, either physical, including adiabatic expansion or mixing with cool air, radiative or conductive cooling, or chemical oxidation of sulfur dioxide to sulfuric acid can produce a supersaturated state which then collapses by aerosol formation. Once a condensable species has been formed in the gas phase, the system is in a non-equilibrium state. It may pass towards equilibrium by the generation of new particles, homogeneous nucleation, or by condensation on existing particles, which can be called as heterogeneous condensation process. Coagulation of aerosols, which is used to describe the growing process of aerosol particles in contact with each other, cause a continuous change in concentration and size distribution of agglomerates, keeping the total particle volume constant. Structure of the aerosol particles may occur by themselves or may be formed into chains of sphere. These are called agglomerates or flock. Agglomerates are usually formed from highly charged small particles such as are found in metal fumes or dense smoke. Their surface properties have very small size, and due to their small size they provide large surface for chemical reactions such as adsorption, absorption, burning, or other chemical reaction. The amount of area per gram of material increases as the particle size decreases, and for a given average size, increasing polydispersity decreases the surface area per gram. Then there is chemical composition based properties of aerosol, and which can be having large speciation of chemical compounds of atmospheric particulate matter. Chemical speciation is essential for establishing more specific relationship between particle concentration and measure of public health. So properties related to the health implication or health perspective is related to the chemical composition of aerosol. More than 35 metallic elements have been found by the chemical and spectroscopic analysis of the inorganic fraction. Some of the most abundant metallic elements are silicon, calcium, sodium, aluminum, and iron. Relatively high quantities of magnesium, lead, copper, zinc, and manganese are also found in the atmosphere. So in given condition of any space, by and large, the concentration with microscopic size will also have very peculiar heavy metals in atmosphere. The concentration of these elements will depend on the nature of the area and the type of industries present there. The largest contribution to the coarse masses is typically from soil dust, which is dominated by salts of silicon, aluminum, iron ore, and calcium. Other sources of the coarse aerosol are sea spray. The crystal element such as aluminum, silicon, and calcium showed a close association for determining the source activities. The distribution pattern for these crystal related elements suggests that crystal dust is contributing significantly not only to the coarse fraction but also to the fine fraction. These chemical species can also be differentiated with size of particulate matter. Chemical composition of particulate matter along with size fraction plays important role in efficacy of monitoring work to know the extent particulate matter will affect exposed public life. The particle size and chemical composition of inhalable particles are important in determining potential impacts on human health, since the efficiencies of both inhalation and respiratory deposition are dependent upon particle size, while chemical composition mediates toxicity due to the presence of specific toxic elements and influence the non-specific toxicity of particles. Various studies showed that heavy metals emission from various anthropogenic sources showed a tendency towards increasing concentration as particle size decreases. Explanation lies in the facts that these metals volatilized during combustion and preferentially adsorbed or condensed through thermal coagulation onto small particles, which could most readily pass through conventional control equipment. Hence, particles having size lesser than 5 micrometer are extremely harmful to human health, but more understanding is required for conclusion. These particles, depending on the chemical composition and size, also show variable lifetime in residence time in atmosphere. The lifetime of atmospheric aerosol particle depends on their properties, size, chemical composition, etc., and on altitude range too. In the atmospheric boundary layer, which is lower troposphere, the residence time of aerosol particles is usually less than a week, often on the order of a day, depending on aerosol properties and meteorological condition. In the free troposphere, the typical particle lifetime is 3 to 10 days on average. During this time, particles can easily be transported to a long distance. Therefore, there is a large variability in particle concentration, reflecting the geographical distribution of sources and sinks. The stratosphere also contains aerosol particles which have much longer lifetime, up to 1 year, than in the tropospheric particles due to the lack of precipitation. Smaller particles are efficiently removed by coagulation with the other particles. Therefore, their lifetime is very short, in a range of 10 minutes to a day. Similarly, the large particles spend only a short time in the atmosphere due to the sedimentation. Particles in the accumulation mode have the longest lifetime, 7 to 10 days on average. As in this range, both the Brownian diffusion and sedimentation are less important. These particles removed from the atmosphere predominantly by wet deposition. The next and very important properties of aerosol is optical properties. Optical effects of aerosol represent the most spectacular and most important of all aerosol characteristics. The interaction of aerosols with radiation is usually measured by aerosol optical properties such as scattering coefficient, absorption coefficient, aerosol optical depth, single scattering albedo, and angstrom exponent. Aerosol particles directly affect the Earth's atmospheric radiative valence through absorbing or scattering radiation, and can also serve as cloud condensation nuclei to change global and regional climate. Therefore, aerosol optical properties and size distribution are major factors influencing the radiative valence, and knowledge of them is required to predict global climate change. The effects of aerosol on the climate and environment have been researched and discussed worldwide, and showed that aerosol optical depth and the angstrom exponent are two basic optical parameters of aerosol particles. Recently, scientists demonstrated that the single scattering albedo is one of the most important factors indicating aerosol radiative effects. The angstrom exponent can also be used to study the size and growth of particles through its spectral dependence. The AOD is a parameter used to measure the magnitude of aerosol extinction due to scattering and absorption integrated in the vertical column. It represents the e-folding length of the single spectrum albedo is a ratio of the scattering coefficient to the extinction coefficient and measures the relative importance of scattering and absorption. The aerosol effects on the radiation budget at the top of atmosphere switched from net cooling to warming at a certain value of the single spectrum analysis or albedo, depending on the local surface albedo. The angstrom exponent represents the wavelength dependence of AOD with high value of AE indicating small particles and low value representing larger particles. Long-term monitoring of aerosols from the ground is required to obtain the temporal and spatial variation data necessary to understand the effects of aerosol on climate, regional climate, and air quality. Aerosol optical properties such as AOD, single scattering albedo, volume of size, aerosol size distribution, absorption AOD, and direct radiative forcing using sun photometer data in metropolitan cities have been studied. Various countries have established the remote sensing and ground-based measurement network for the recording and obtaining the data and thereby derived aerosol optical properties. Knowledge of an atmospheric particle's chemical composition is of importance as it determines the optical properties of particles and affect atmospheric chemistry in the gas as well as in the particulate phase. Moreover, the aerosol chemical composition influences the ability of particles to act as cloud condensation nuclei or ice nuclei. For instance, while some particles such as minerals do not make very good CCN, they act as very good ice nuclei in colder parts of the atmosphere due to high inhomogeneous horizontal and vertical distribution of aerosols and impractical direct assessment of column leads to create the large uncertainties in estimating aerosol radiative effects. There are several advanced sensors which measure the radiative effect of the aerosol through satellites. Such advanced sensors will also provide aerosol global distribution information, seasonal and interannual variation in the sources, optical properties, and the direct and indirect effects of aerosol. Combining global ground-based measurements and satellite remote sensing makes it possible to obtain relatively reliable information regarding global aerosol distribution. These aerosol optical depth data can be applied for air quality assessment, health and environmental assessment, and earth radiation budget. They also can be used in radiative transfer model, atmospheric correction of remotely sensed surface features, monitoring of sources and sinks of aerosol, monitoring of forest fire and volcanic eruption, and ultimately climate change phenomena. Radiative properties of aerosols may influence the radiation budget of the Earth climate system. Profoundly, two types of radiative effects have been suggested. One is direct, second is indirect. These properties are because they have the reflection, they have scattering, diffraction and refraction, or partly because of chemical composition, absorption of the light. So whenever these incident light interact or incident with aerosol, they shown different variable impact or interaction such as reflection, scattering, diffraction, refraction and absorption. So based on all these things, direct and indirect radiative effects can be calculated. Direct radiative effects, the findings leading to the potential climate impact of aerosol has resulted in a large research efforts that has significantly improved our understanding of the role of aerosol in the Earth radiation balance. With a full set of aerosol optical properties available, the direct radiative effects of aerosol can be calculated by using satellite-based model, satellite model integrated or ground model integrated approaches. Indirect radiative effects may be because of aerosol cloud interaction. Clouds themselves are important regulators of the Earth radiation budget. Overall, clouds cool the Earth atmosphere system at the top of atmosphere. Losses of 48 watt per meter square at top of the atmosphere in the solar spectrum by clouds are only partially compensated for 30 watt per square meter by cloud trapped infrared radiation. Aerosol particles serve as condensation nuclei for the formation of cloud droplets and atmospheric ice particle. Aerosol cloud interaction include the indirect radiative effect and semi-indirect radiative effects. The indirect radiative effects consist of two components, the albedo effect and the cloud lifetime effect. Each affects the size distribution and chemical nature of atmospheric aerosol as well as the chemical composition of cloud and precipitation. Albedo effect, because of solar radiation, is mainly scattered but only minimally absorbed by cloud droplets. An increase in cloud condensation nuclei at constant liquid water content leads to a large concentration of a small radius cloud droplets. This enhances cloud reflectivity, rendering the radiative forcing negative. This aspect of aerosol indirect effect is referred to as the albedo effect. There is, because of indirect radiative effects, there are climatic effects. Aerosols play important role in the balance of the Earth climate due to the increasing anthropogenic emission of aerosol. Since the Industrial Revolution, they can also affect the global climate change. However, the effects of aerosol on climate are not one way, moreover excessively uncertain. The climate forcing by aerosol can be realized in two ways, basically indirect and indirect radiative forcing. Aerosol particles reflected a part of short wave solar radiation back into the surface space, cooling the Earth's atmosphere. This cooling effect of aerosol, especially by sulfate components, may be compensated by the absorption of long wave terrestrial radiation, primarily by elemental or black carbon aerosol and dust particles. Aerosol particles can also affect the radiation balance by formation of cloud droplets. Cloud droplets are formed in the troposphere by condensation of water vapor onto aerosol particles when the relative humidity exceeds the saturation level. Without these particles, a very large supersaturation would be necessary for the homogeneous condensation of water vapor. The properties and the number of particles can affect the formation and the characteristics of cloud and precipitation in many ways. The increased number of aerosol particles and therefore the increased cloud optical thickness decreases the net surface solar radiation. The more numerous smaller cloud particles reflect more solar radiation, called albedo effects. Smaller particles decrease the precipitation efficiency, thereby prolonging cloud lifetime. The absorption of solar light by soot particles may cause evaporation of cloud particles. In mixed phase cloud, smaller cloud droplets delay the beginning of freezing and decrease the riming efficiency. However, more ice nuclei increase the precipitation efficiency. Light scattering is one of two attenuation effects of aerosol on solar radiation, the other being absorption, and can be qualified directly by means of total scattering coefficient. By virtue of chemical composition aerosol, black carbon attain or attract the very high importance in recent climate change studies. So black carbon play very important role in radiative forcing. Black carbon is a distinct type of carbonaceous material formed only in flames during combustion of carbon-based fuels. It is distinguishable from other forms of carbon and carbon compounds contained in atmospheric aerosol because it has a unique combination of the following physical properties, such as it strongly absorbs visible light with a mass absorption cross section of at least 5 meters square per gram at a wavelength of 515 nanometer. It is refractory, that is, it retains its basic form at very high temperature with a vaporization temperature near 4000 Kelvin. It is insoluble in water, in organic solvents including methanol and acetone, and in other components of atmospheric aerosol. It exists as an aggregate of small carbon spherules. The strong absorption of visible light at all visible wavelengths by black carbon is the distinguishing characteristics that has raised interest in studies of atmospheric radiative transfer. No other substance with such strong light absorption per unit mass is present in the atmosphere in significant quantities. A variety of combustion sources, both natural and anthropogenic, emit black carbon directly to the atmosphere. The largest global sources are open burning of forest and savannas, solid fuels burned for cooking and heating, and on-road and off-road diesel engines. Industrial activities are also significant sources, while aviation and shipping emission represent minor contribution to the emitted mass at the global scale. The best quantified climate impact of black carbon is its atmospheric direct radiative forcing. The consequent change in the radiative balance of the Earth due to an increase in absorption of sunlight within the atmosphere. Thus, it causes warming like greenhouse gases. Black carbon also produces warming when it is deposited on ice or snow because black carbon decreases the reflectivity of the surface, causing more solar radiation to be absorbed. These particles also show the visibility reduction because of size and chemical composition. Atmospheric visibility is defined by the ability of our eyes to distinguish an object from the surrounding background. Scattering of solar radiation by aerosol is the main process limiting visibility in the troposphere. In the absence of aerosols, our visual range would be more than 30 km, limited by scattering by air molecules. Anthropogenic aerosols in urban environments typically reduce visibility by one order of magnitude relatively to unpolluted conditions. Degradation of visibility by anthropogenic aerosol is also a serious problem in our national park and sanctuary. The visibility reduction is greatest at high in presence of different chemical constituent of aerosol. With high pollution load in atmosphere with black carbon or different organic constituent, the visibility get reduced to very low, sometime in few hundred meters. In this situation, the flight diverted to the clean atmospheric condition, or they needed some suitable place for grounding. In the concluding part of the properties of aerosol can be summarized in forms of the chemical composition of aerosol with their different atmospheric properties. These aerosol, because of different physicochemical properties, have a very important role to play in climatic model and aerosol in air pollution studies in different regions. The properties also get affected because of its chemical composition, size, abundance, and their residence time in atmosphere. Thank you.